Hello, my name is Anna Karras and I am a public services librarian with the Collier County Public Library System, and I am here to bring you The Curious Reader, carefully curated book reviews for you on a specific theme. November is National Novel Writing Month. You may not know this, but it is. There is a national organization called National Novel Writing Month, and they have a website which is NaNoWriMo.org, which is NaNoWriMo.org. Had to think about that for a second. Anyway, what they do is they give people the framework to set themselves up to write 50,000 words of a novel in the month of November. And people from all over the world participate in this challenge. And I have 3 books this month that will help you on your way if you are an aspiring writer to find ways to become a better writer. So let's get started. The first book I want to talk to you about is On Writing, a memoir of the craft by Stephen King. And everybody knows Stephen King is the famous horror writer. This particular book is divided into 2 parts. The first part is basically his life as a writer and how he started out as a kid, where his creativity came from, how he started writing, his writing career in general. The second part of the book is called The Writer's Toolbox, in which he goes through different parts of writing and language and vocabulary and punctuation and grammar, but he does it in such an engaging and familiar way that you don't feel like you're reading a grammar textbook. It's really quite well done. So this is the first book that I recommend to you for this month. My second choice for writing guides is Reading Like a Writer by Francine Prose. Francine Prose has written many novels. She's written short stories, she's written essays. She's really a consummate writer. And she talks about something that Stephen King also mentions in his book on writing, which is that to be a writer, you need to be a reader. And she goes through all the different parts of elements of the novel and dissects them and gives you examples of how to be a better reader so you can become a better writer. For instance, she talks about significant detail and plot and character and all sorts of different elements that make up a story. Dialogue. It's all in there. And it's a fascinating read. It's very cerebral, but also very engaging, and I highly recommend this book to you. The third book I want to talk to you about today is Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. Anne Lamott is another consummate American writer who has written many novels, essays, short stories, poetry, but this book focused specifically on fiction. And the title comes from an essay in the book where her brother is trying to write a report about birds for science class when he's a little boy. And his father gives him the advice when he gets frustrated and overwhelmed: son, just take it bird by bird. Anne Lamott has a lot of great advice in the book. In addition to that one, she talks about first drafts and how important it is to just power through those first drafts and not go back and edit while you're typing. She also has a lot of good writerly advice that I think will benefit to people of all stripes who are trying to write a book. So those are my 3 books: On Writing, a memoir of the craft by Stephen King, Reading Like a Writer by Francine Prose, and Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. Each of these will give you the tools that you need to successfully start your writing career. And if you are interested next year in joining National Novel Writing Month, go to NaNoWriMo.org to find out how you can sign up and take place in activities and events that are going on all year long. Thanks for watching The Curious Reader, and join me next month when I will come back with 3 new selections for you. Have a good week. Bye-bye.